It's NFL Daily by Chat Sports. Tyler Jones here to answer your questions that you guys send us. Part of our live mailbag shows that we're doing twice a week. Use hashtag NFL or Super Chat to get your questions answered on the show. And I got to tell you, I love doing these mailbag segments. Great way to interact with you guys and gauge what the fans are saying across the National Football League. So let's not wait a second more and get started. Brew Crew writes in your opinion, who won the trade between the Bills and Vikings in 2020 that sent Diggs to the Bills for draft picks, which the Vikings used to draft Jefferson? Well, let's think about this. Okay, besides just the players, what have been the end results for both those teams? The Bills have not gotten to the AFC Championship game yet. Could change, but right now they haven't. The Vikings, they are still looking to get past the NFC as well. They have one playoff win in the Kirk Cousins era and all that. I would say this. On paper, the Vikings definitely won that trade because they got the best receiver in the NFL and a guy that's going to be great for a long time, and they can build their team around and all that upgraded from Stefon Diggs. But the Bills on their end, they got some immediate help. So it's not like that the Bills suffered because of this trade. Both teams, it worked out pretty decent. Maybe they didn't get the results of taking the step up they wanted to. But as far as the long term goes and all that, the Vikings definitely did. Jim Evan Hinders writes in, if Minnesota loses to the Chargers, should they tank for Caleb Williams? I think that Minnesota, I think the Chargers, and I'd say the Bengals are all in a pretty interesting situation. If you fall to 0-3, your season's over with. You're done. You're not coming back from being down 0-3 to start the season. So in the case of Minnesota, if you fall to 0-3, then I think you start to answer some phone calls. Maybe you're sending Cousins to the New York Jets. I don't know if you're going to be bad enough to be in position to get Caleb Williams. Everybody's going to easily say tank for Caleb, right? That's easier said than done. At the end of the day, the Cardinals are a whole lot worse than the Vikings are. Same can be said for teams like the Colts, the Texans, and others. I'd say the Raiders in that bunch. I don't think you're going to be in that position to tank for Caleb, but at least you could be in position to still get a very good quarterback there, Evan. Dan writes in, if the Cardinals do draft Caleb Williams, who do you think will trade for Kyler Murray, and what draft capital will it cost? Two teams come to mind in particular. I do think it's going to, even though you take on the contract, Kyler Murray could still be a franchise quarterback in this league. I like Kyler Murray. I think he can play at a high level. I think it's going to take a first-round pick and potentially more than that. With that said, the Atlanta Falcons come to mind. And he could be kind of their second coming of Michael Vick in a way. I think the New England Patriots come to mind if they don't like what they see from Mac Jones and all that. Potentially anyone that needs a quarterback, I think, would be calling for Kyler Murray to potentially be their guy and move forward with him. So, yes, Atlanta in particular is the first team I think of. Dustin writes in, here we go. Next question coming in. Let's see, we answered that from Dan. Bossman writes in, will Danielle Hunter get traded? If so, where will he get traded? It is all contingent, I think, on this weekend. If the Vikings lose to the Chargers, then it's a fire sale. Then they're shopping Cousins. They're shopping Hunter. Watch out for the Seattle Seahawks. Pass rush hasn't been too good for Seattle right now. Danielle Hunter could be exactly what the Seahawks are looking for. Don't sleep on that possibility, boss man. I could very well see that happening, of them moving on and Seattle getting a pass rusher they need right now. Where will Danielle Hunter finish the season? Remember, he's only on a one-year deal. So although they gave him that new contract, that doesn't mean that he's staying around there long term. Where does he go? Chime in. Tell us. Give us a team. Maybe it's back in Minnesota. Maybe it's somewhere else. What do you think? Will Danielle Hunter stay in Minnesota or go elsewhere? Chime in. Subscribe to the channel now for the latest happenings across the National Football League. We're doing our mailbags twice a week. We're answering your questions each and every live show. And we have daily news and rumors, our Red Zone channel, all sorts of stuff. So go ahead and subscribe now for free. Turn on notifications. Stay up to date what's happening across the National Football League. We got you covered here on NFL Daily by Chat Sports. Subscribe now, and you will be glad you did. Death Valley, another question on Diggs. Everybody wants to know on Stefon Diggs. Or I guess earlier it was Justin Jefferson. Anyways, along the same line. Diggs' future. Buffalo. Barring some blow-up, and there have been rumblings, the Bills desperately need Stefon Diggs right now. Josh Allen needs Stefon Diggs. There is nowhere else to go. They need him there. They're not moving on from him. He is staying put unless something else explodes. Otherwise, he is going to be with the Buffalo Bills, I think, for a bit at least. Today's show is sponsored by Odds R. Odds R, one of our newest partners here at Chat Sports. They don't take bets, but their AI technology recommends the best bets you can make. The interface is incredibly sleek, and it's designed to be user-friendly. If you've ever been curious about sports betting or are looking for a more intuitive platform, Odds R is your sports betting advisor in your pocket. NFL Daily listeners get 30 days for free. You can experience the magic for yourself. Dive in and be smart. Go to oddsr.com/NFL Daily. Some bets to watch this weekend. The over-under in the Carolina-Seattle game. Although there might not be Bryce Young, that doesn't mean Carolina's offense won't be able to score. Seahawks defense doesn't look too great right now. Over in that game, 42 value there. You want to look for the green. And there's more green in that Steelers-Raiders game with the over in that, 43. Raiders defense probably going to give up a lot of points. Could be a good bet there. Monday Night Football, Eagles and the Bucks. Same thing. We're talking offense there. Baker Mayfield, that offense is better than what people think. Mike Evans and company, they can put up points. I think it's going to be interesting. They should be able to go toe-to-toe with Philly. I personally think it could be interesting. There's value there. You can bet on all sorts of stuff by first finding out the bets to make with Odds R. Go to oddsr.com/NFL Daily for your 30-day free trial now. Sign up today. Terms and conditions do apply. 30-day free trial now, oddsr.com/NFL Daily. Got time for a couple more. Robert writes in, Pats are in dire need of offensive linemen. Do you know of any good free agent offensive linemen? I think our next question was going to be pretty similar to this, Robert, actually. Actually, we talked about this on the channel this week. That's what it was. And Gabe Jackson, in particular, is a name to watch for. Don't sleep in the idea. Gabe Jackson, offensive guard, previously with the Seahawks. I know that if you're looking for offensive tackles, Eric Fisher's out there potentially. Patriots offensive line needs all the help they can get. Thanks, Robert. Dustin writes in, what do you think about the Chargers trading Cam Akers to the Vikings, and who won the trade? The Rams didn't get a whole lot. They get a 6th-round pick. Their future's in Kyron Williams. They believe he's the better back. Cam Akers wasn't a great locker room guy. The Vikings needed help in their run game. This is a situation where the Vikings are desperate. I don't think there's a winner in this trade. I think they're both just kind of are what they are. There's more potential, I think, for the Vikings to win this trade because of trying to turn their season around. But for now, there is no winner. Not so fast, my friend. Checking in, saying, is it time for the Commanders to trade Chase Young? What do you think? If they're not going to trade him, they need to do something. And I wonder, okay, hear me out on this, folks. Let's say if they hold on to him and they franchise tag him. Is anybody trading for Chase Young on the franchise tag? Do they want to pay franchise money for Chase Young? I don't know. So, with that said, I think they lean towards trading him. He's been cleared. He's healthy now. If he plays at a high level, and also kind of depending on how things go for the Commanders, I don't think the Commanders are that great of a football team despite the 2-0 record. I think he's one of the top players in the trade block right now. Could they change their minds and pay him? Potentially. but it doesn't sound like that they're going to pay him long term. Might as well try to trade him, get something out of it. Will the Commanders trade Chase Young? Y for yes, N for no. What do you guys think? Weigh in and tell us in the comment section if you think there is going to be a trade here or not. Subscribe to NFL Daily for more NFL news and rumors. We got you covered each and every day on the channel. We'll see you next time. Thanks for hanging out with us.